So you want to hear about cam models, do you? Oh, God. Sorry. Bugs. So, man, Georgia. You want to hear about cam models? Well, I got one for you. Hope you're ready for the juicy details. And I don't hold back. I'm asking all the questions. Are you ready? Woo! I know I am. Welcome to the Life in Red podcast. This is a way of life that emphasizes positive sexuality, self-love, and confidence. On this journey, red is now your new color. Be courageous. Be passionate. Be sexy. And never stop living your best red life. So now I have one question for you. Are you ready to live your life in red? To join us on this journey, like and subscribe below. This is Brittany, your host. And today I am so excited to be joined by a beautiful cam model who is brave enough to come on here to tell us her story, why she got into the industry, and maybe debunk some of these common misconceptions some of you have about the camming industry. Let me welcome Em. Welcome, Em, to the show today.
Thank you so much, Brittany. It's a pleasure to be doing this. Hello, viewers. I hope that you get to look into the cam world and learn a thing or two about myself.
Yes, and they definitely will, because I plan on asking the questions not only they want to know, but maybe some questions that take things out of the black and white box of judgment that people might have on the industry. So thank you for being so brave to be on here with us today.
Great. I look forward to it. I've been cam modeling for over a year now, so it's been quite a journey.
So over a year. So it's kind of new.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it's something that I've wanted to do for quite some time now. I used to be an esthetician, and then I did dog grooming, and, I had a finger in every pie in a sense, but this was always sitting in the back of my head, and I'm more than happy that I went through with it. I can't see me doing anything else, truthfully.
That's so weird. You just said dog grooming and esthetician. I did dog grooming and I was a cosmetologist. Like, we're like twinning over here. I tried it too. So, well, good for you. What piqued you to want to get into cam modeling? Like, what led you there?
Well, I used to be a streamer for video games on Twitch, so I was always not really good at engaging with an audience and things like that. And where I'm from, in America in general, it's kind of spiked the cam modeling industry or posting content in that sense. So it's just something that I wanted to try out. I knew that I could stop at any point if I wanted to. I was open and honest with everyone in my life about it, and everyone has been supportive. So I guess like one of those personal interactions that you sort of get in the cam modeling industry, and it's a very pleasurable experience as well. So it's kind of a business and pleasure at the same time.
Well, speaking of business, and thank you. I think that the being lucrative, obviously you've stuck with it, and I could tell you're still passionate about it. Have you found it? Has it been pretty lucrative for you to be able to do this? To make money camming? Has it been able to, be a stable source of income for you?
Yes, it has for the most part. There's many factors to take into account. It's not a freemium website, it is a premium website. So you are pretty much relying on a member to invest in you in a sense to do it private with you. And people go through real life things, they're paying rent. It could be holidays or something like that. So you can spend an hour or more online and not make anything, or you can spend an hour or more online and it's, a very hot hour. So the payments kind of do fluctuate in that sense as well. There is a certain percentage of a cut that gets taken out. So you have to kind of keep that in mind and just have a good
Right.
management skill in general. But yeah, it's definitely supported me in the long haul. I do have Crohn's disease, and in the past, I was unable to take off from work so many days, and you can
Mhm.
get very sick. So this is great because I am my own boss, and if I'm not feeling well, I don't have to go in.
Well, see, that's really interesting right there because there are common misconceptions around why people do camming in the first place. There's stereotypes and all these things. You have Crohn's disease. And so like you're able to and you have experience uh with being on camera prior to this. You have that lively personality, but you could go in, make money and then be like, I don't feel good, and you're in control of that. You don't have this boss over you telling you you got to work today. So that's good that you can rest and take care of yourself.
Yeah, of course. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of jobs that do offer, a sick day and things of that nature, but we can make up for it by selling content as well, or, having an engagement with a member. It's almost like a text message kind of thing. And even if you don't want to be online streaming, you can put your phone calls on, and it's almost like a FaceTime sort of thing. And you can make a profit that way. So say you're going on vacation and you don't want to be online for hours and hours. You can put your calls on if you're free and take a few phone calls if people call you. So it works out in different ways, and people can buy your content on your page, or you can send photos that people can buy personalized to their inbox.
That's so cool. Like I imagine myself, and I've interviewed one other professional model, and I was asking because I tried to imagine myself in this scenario ever since I started this podcast. Like, how would it be the first time? The first time, because you started not long ago. It's only been over a year. How was it your first time, going into camming in this particular way? Because it's different than what you were doing, where it's more vulnerable in a way. Or how did you handle that?
Well, I have a big personality, so definitely speaking to the members was keeping that engagement. Luckily for me, I actually kind of did miss out on this, truthfully, but with Live Jasmine, for instance, they do give you a 30-day promo where you're pretty much on the front page so people can locate you. I missed out on that because I was missing documentation and I had no idea. But my engagement with people drew them in very fast. It wasn't uncomfortable or awkward. People, you kind of have to set your boundaries as to what you want to do or willing to do.
Oh,
Uh,
that's cool.
yeah, definitely. So you have options as to your willingness list, but people might try to go around that and ask you to do something that you don't want to do. And it's just a strict, I say, no, thank you. I don't do that. I hope you find the model that's right for you. But it wasn't awkward. I was definitely introduced to new fetishes, which was very interesting. Most people, when they first met me, they actually just wanted to speak to me alone in private, which was great. And then it was
Wow.
some just mutual masturbation and things like that. But it's definitely pleasurable, but you definitely get people that come in, let's say, on a guest account or no account pretty much, and they just hang on the room. They can be very aggressive, so it can be intimidating in that sense. I'm kind of used to comments like that, and I think most people are, whether you're on social media, especially. Um, Everyone gets mean comments in life, so it's kind of like you do have to brush it off. So I had that enough confidence of doing it I think my main issue was my setup at the time, my lighting. And
Mm.
my biggest concern was that was the aesthetically pleasing aspect because I am a 1099 worker, so I don't work from a studio. And in studios, everything's set up very pretty and be a little bit more competitive on my end. I have to get my own equipment and things like that. But
Wow.
yeah, so I had to set up everything very nice and make sure the lighting's perfect, the microphone's perfect. But other than that, I mean, I had made some very, very close bonds, and some guests have left, and some of the, well, members technically, some of them have left, and some of them are still with me. And some of them come back, it's been over a year, and I remember who they are. So it's a very, very close, intimate connection. If you're willing to do that and speak to them instead of just typing, just to have that one interaction. It's very close.
Wow. And that's something like I never would have thought of. Because like when before coming into this and I thought of, let's say, OnlyFans, or I thought of live, I didn't know much about Live Jasmine prior to the show. And so like what I knew in my head was, mutual masturbation. That's pretty much as far as it went from my knowledge. But it's really shocking to me. Like you're actually gaining intimate connections. Like I could feel it when you're saying it. Like these people mean something to you. It's not just surface level BS. That's very interesting.
Oh yes, definitely. I even tell them all the time. I'll be thinking about them throughout the day, and it's kind of like I manifest them a little bit, to be honest with you, because it's like I'll be thinking of a random user, like a random member's name, and then I see them that day. And I'm like, oh, I was thinking about you. And I'm being 100% genuine to them, and I think that they know. So I do definitely enjoy having those connections. I always ask how everyone's doing even if they say I'm fine, I kind of follow back with are you sure nothing's wrong? You're saying great, amazing. If you're saying I'm fine, it's kind of like, is something else going on? Are you really okay? So they really appreciate that. But
Yeah.
like OnlyFans, I would say it still is somewhat of a connection, you know, only because it's not on this deep, intimate level, but it can be a one on one engagement as well, besides just sending out a bunch of content to everyone. People might want something specific. Sometimes people, they just want to say hi. So, yeah, especially on Live Jasmine, though, it's very, very, very intimate. If you're willing to build those connections, and many members are willing to do it, there are a lot of members that, they want to play, and then I see you next time, but very respectfully. So it's a great combination of both.
Well, that's really good. So for people out there who maybe aren't getting, because it's hard in society today to build connections. It's scary, scarier than ever in a way to connect to another human being in a safe way because we're all in self-preservation. So to have a safe place to connect to someone and get your needs met in different ways, through pleasure, but also have someone listen to you and actually care authentically. Because we can feel it when it's fake. You know what I mean? You can feel it when it's like, so how are you doing? And you're thinking about, oh my God, I gotta get my groceries. Oh, you're doing good. Great. Yeah. But you're like, no, how are you? Like, really?
Yeah, it's very genuine. And I think that's what draws a lot of the members to me, or for them to return, is just having that genuine connection. And I'll even follow back up on something. They could have told me something a month ago, and I will say to them, oh, so whatever happened, you said you were getting a job promotion. Whatever happened with that? Is everything okay? So I have very great memory, so I memorize little things like that. I think they appreciate it because you want someone to listen to you. Everyone wants to be heard in life. That's a natural human feeling. And as you had said, it's very hard to meet people, even out in public, everyone's used to the cell phones. Most people are on dating apps. Even on the dating apps, they don't really work. You might speak to each other for 2 seconds, then you don't get an answer back. Everything's run by technology in that sense. So, in this case, I have plenty of members that will put on their microphone and show their face because they have the choice to. And I always say, you're not ever pressured to do that with me. And we'll
Right.
back and forth conversation, or sometimes I just feel comfortable typing. And I've had members that have typed the entire time. And I have members that have typed for, a few times and then they ended up putting on their microphone or their camera. Or they'll just message me. They'll message me a video of what they're doing today. They're getting a cup of coffee or something like that. They're going on a walk or something like that. So it is very, very intimate, and it is very nice that they think of me back as well.
Wow. I mean, like, I'm finding out things I just had no clue about. So I know you guys out there didn't know this. I mean, they're going about their day. Because think about it, like you guys out there, like think about how, let's say you were single. We're just going to paint this scenario. You're single, you live in a high-rise condo, you're a successful businessman or woman or they or whatever you identify with, and you're waking up and yeah, you're making the money, you're doing good, you have your kingdom built, whatever. But to share that with someone, and you don't want to just share it with anyone. You don't want to make a hasty decision and just because you don't want to be alone, go out and get married tomorrow. So you meet this beautiful woman, M. You can speak to her. You can share your life, not be lonely. And it's safe. There's no pressure. I mean, you feel that sounds good. I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
It is amazing. Even there are some members that know I have Crohn's. I don't display that because I really don't want people to feel bad for me, and that's
Yeah.
and I don't want to identify as that. But if I'm not online for like a day or two, I'm getting messages saying, "Are you okay?" Even whether they know it or not, they do check in on me. They do care back. So it's not a one-way street here. It goes ways. It's a really nice feeling. So I care about them very much. They care about me very much, and it's wonderful. It really is.
That's so cool. And I think I know there's this misconception. We'll go into men really quick. There's this misconception with men that they're just about getting off. With a lot of people, being that I was a hairdresser for quite a few years, there was this misconception, a stereotype about men being all about getting off. And like what I've come to realize with my own research, and this backs it up right here, is that men are very protective, very caring. You make them feel good, feel safe to be the protector. All they want to do is protect and check in and it seems like because you're this safe place, you're getting that in return. It's quite inspiring.
So I have been in situations. It is live Jasmine. It is, a business in a sense where I bring someone pleasure, which is completely reasonable. They do the private, they get themselves off, that's fine. And when I'm in a private, I do rush a little bit, meaning to take off my clothes because they're paying for it and I consider every single second that they're spending money on me. And I've had members say, whoa, 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 let's just chat a little bit. Or they'll chat with me a few times and then get intimate with me. They want to spend some time to speak to someone. They're not really interested into going at it right away in a sense. And I really respect that because
Yeah.
like the emotional closeness, it builds a better form of intimacy. And I believe a lot of the members on there feel the same exact way, or maybe they want to see your personality and they say, okay, this isn't for me. I gave it a try. I want to build something closer with somebody else. But there are members that do that, there are members that don't, which is fine. But that is my favorite part. That is my favorite type of member, is someone that will chat from you for a bit in the private. They hear me in the free chat all the time. I am speaking nonstop about the most randomest things. Sometimes it can be flirty, and sometimes it can be something very scientific, truthfully. But when they take me private, they're almost like, oh, wow, you've really caught my eye. I like the sound of your voice. I like what you were speaking about. You seem very knowledgeable on many things. So we'll even dive deeper. And I've had many privates just listening to music. Something so simple like that. Building that form of intimacy by listening to music together. That connection, it's great.
Well, I love that because it's not just people aren't just there to get off. Like there are boundaries. There are a variety of different reasons why someone would come see you. And sometimes it's just for closeness. It's not just the stereotypical, so there, we just debunk something, guys. Sometimes someone just wants to listen to music with someone, get close to someone, not feel alone, have someone who cares enough to listen. And this could be an example for all of us out there who are in partnerships or are dating, that the world is starved for this connection, intimacy. And so I think that's really cool. And what surprised me about you, Em, is when I first talked to you, and I don't mean surprised in a bad way, I just related to you a lot. You're very smart. And I don't mean surprised by that you're smart, meaning the level of intelligence you're at is not normal. You're a very, very inquisitive woman who's quite academic. And like, could you go into some of your passions outside of camming, things that interest you?
Yeah, of course. I really enjoy reading. I'm a night owl and I'm also an early riser. So I love to work out. I love to read. I love to sit home and watch a good TV series. I like to also go out for a nice meal. I am a very big foodie. So that's one of
Ooh.
my favorite things. I connect good memories to food, the ambiance, who I was with, what I had. So I love doing that. But I would say the thing that's most important about myself is I enjoy learning. I've always loved learning. I always loved going to school. I will look up the most random, I have a degree in Google. Okay. I will look up the most random things on Google. I will educate myself. I'll take up a random course just to keep going and going and going. And I just love that. And my mind absorbs things like a sponge. So my favorite thing is not just to hold in that information, but to teach someone else it. And also, I really respect when someone teaches me something. I don't like to be right all the time. I like it. I
Mhm.
like to. That's how I grow as a human being. So I like doing some things indoors and being a homebody. And then I also like being outside. I love being athletic. I love watching sports, things of that nature. So I'm very versatile in that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell by the careers you've picked. I just relate to you because I've tried all these different things, and I wasn't huge at like going to school and being good with the ADHD, but I am a huge sponge of life. I'm constantly analyzing the universe and why things are happening and trying to grow. So I relate to you in that way. And I think that's just really cool. Um, because what would you say? Because like this ties into this question. What would you say to people? Because like it's really sad that this kind of information you just told me would be surprising to people because of your industry and what you're in. It's really sad that this is surprising, that you actually have a normal life and you're actually highly intelligent and you actually love growing and learning and helping people and connecting to people. What's some advice or more misconceptions or anything you would say to people out there that are scared of being a little more open-minded to seeing the humanity in cam modeling?
Well, I do have degrees as well. I went to school for fashion design and general illustration, and I don't think that that defines me. A lot of people, I tell people this all the time. So people are scared to change careers in their life. They will, even 50, 60 years old, they want to stick to doing the same thing and they're just not happy. I've always thought as I will continuously change careers or I'll continuously learn. My best advice is just be yourself. Why be in like a situation where you are unhappy, or why we have one life, obviously. If you're questioning doing it, just go for it. You can always stop. There's always going to be judgments in any kind of field that you're in. It's in the newspaper every day. There's always something going on. It doesn't
Right.
matter what title you are. So for me to be judged on this, there's different types of occupations, let's say, within this field. And I like what I'm doing because it is safe. I am by myself. I'm in control of what I do. I'm behind a webcam. It's not a physical interaction with anybody on that level. Um, so I would just say for people to try to be kinder to people, to be a little bit more minded, because people do go through things, and although my situation is very different, someone can be dealing with a very bad financial situation, and this might severely benefit them in an amazing way. And someone else can be going through a financial situation and they don't know what to do, or they're stuck, or they're trapped, and they might not consider doing something like this or whatever. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We all bleed the same in a sense. So I just think that people need to realize that we're obviously human beings. Our feelings get hurt as well. And just to have that sense of emotional awareness or emotional intelligence, not to walk around being rude. I treat the cashier the same way I would treat someone that's a CEO of a very successful business. And that's how I was raised. I think people should take note of that in a sense. Just to treat people, everyone's just trying to work, everyone's just trying to survive out here and make the best life possible for themselves.
Right. And that's the thing is like this is a career. This is like anything else. You're a lawyer, you're a doctor. Let's say you're a plastic surgeon. I mean, I just like they're all careers and they all have stereotypes and they all have drama and they all have stigma. But for some reason, the sex working industry or anything to do with sexual pleasure has so many stones cast at it. And I'm so with you because it's like, guys, when we cast stones at people, like Beautiful M here, what are you trying to get out of that? Do you think shaming someone for their life choices is changing anything? And I've preached on this for years. It changes nothing. It's your own insecurity. You need a hug. You need a hug. Leave her alone. She's happy. You're not affecting her. Go create the life you want. And for women out there or men or theys or whoever who want to potentially get into camming, what would your advice be starting out if they're going to do it like you did?
Well, definitely. It's funny because I was just recently asked this while I was online. I don't know if it was a joke or not, but they said, "What do I need? Just a webcam." I said, "No." I said, "You need a personality,
Ooh.
100%. And you need to have confidence in multiple ways. You need to be comfortable in front of a camera. You need to have boundaries, which is something that's very hard for people to do. And especially when money is involved in a sense, you might lose the sense of yourself. You need to also, with the confidence area, you have to know who you are at the end of the day. I brush things off my shoulder very, very easily, but other people, they might take it to heart. People suffer from different things in life, body dysmorphia and things of that nature. Or they might have an underlying mental illness to begin with, might be going through something sad in life, and that's why they're camming. So you have to take these things very light. Someone's behind the screen of a computer. It can happen on a social media as well, not just on camming.
Yeah.
Right in person to your face. Someone can just come up to you saying, "I just don't like you." It's a counterproductive thing. It's an unsuccessful thing in life to do, to be nasty like that. So
Yeah.
I would say you need to put a little bit of money out to make money. So
Mm.
definitely, webcam, having this personality, um, just being your 100% yourself. People can see when you're being yourself or when you're acting a little bit too much. So to be yourself, definitely be kind, or try to be kind. That way you have engagement with people. Know how to market yourself as well, and have a decent setup, at least great lighting in that regard. And I've gotten rejected from certain campsites, which is very, very odd. I've never had that happen. I had spoken to customer support a few times. They weren't telling me the reason why. That usually isn't the case, but you might not like the first site that you're on. It might not be for you. I'm on a premium one. I can get, nude in the free chat room, but there are other
Right.
sites that can, and maybe you enjoy that more.
Mm.
Everybody's different, so you might not be happy with your first choice. And my advice would be to stick with one and focus on one. Don't try to
Ah.
sign 12 different websites and try to, manage each one, because you can. Uh, and it's a great tactic if you want to make a decent amount of money at one time. But when you have a premium website, say, and you have a freemium where you can be nude, you kind of have to exit out of the browser. You will get a warning sign, or you could get in the end banned if you're naked in the free chat. So definitely stick with one and focus on one. Put your time, your effort, your energy, your photos, the amount of time you spend online. It should be treated like a regular job, at least 40 hours, I would say. Do it full time as much as you can. Have time to take breaks, have time to take care of yourself, eat properly, get proper rest, go work out, and definitely do some self care. Do things that make you happy, because sometimes you need a break from the screen. It can hurt your eyes a little bit with the lights and everything like that. But, mentally it can be draining, and physically as well, it can be draining. So
Mm.
that's definitely the best advice, which it's a
That's
list.
But that, I know there's so much, but that's a really beautiful start. And it reminds me so much of being a hairdresser, because you have these people in your chair, right? Coming in and out, and you're hearing about their day. You're getting into the most vulnerable parts of their life that they don't share with anyone else because you're their hairdresser, right? So I noticed at the end of my day, I would be so tired. I loved it. I loved being there from them. But if I didn't take care of myself, and I didn't have the tools I needed, and I didn't stay up on my education, if I scattered myself, which I am known to do, I'm like a golden retriever. Let me go try this. Let me go try this. I'm scattering my energy. So marketing and staying hyper focused on that energy going into one thing, it's hard to manifest when you're too scattered. So I like what you're saying. You got to know the premium site you're on. You understood the rules. You knew the kind of freedom you wanted, and you got the lighting. You put the money in it. What you put in will come back. Take it seriously. It's a career. And then it comes back to you. And also, you're good at connecting, personality, confidence. So these are all the things, and authenticity. So, guys, write that down. That's what you need. You want to make the bucks in this. So, where do you see yourself going with this? Do you have a goal?
I mean, yes, I do. I do see me doing this for a very, very long time. I
Nice.
want to do other things in the industry as well. This is one of them. I have this great opportunity to be on a podcast, and this would not have happened had I not have been online, and if I had not put in the work that I had. So there are different things the industry does. They will do conventions and things like that, which is, a great way to meet people, meet other people in the industry, whether they're a model or, you know, in part of a company or something like that. And they look very fun, actually. They do,
Really? What do you
yeah,
do?
there's awards and things like that, or
Cool.
some of them have little parties of that nature, or they'll do almost excursion type situations. So
Oh,
yeah, so there's a lot of activities that they'll do. They'll give out merchandise and things like that. So I see myself doing this for a very long time. If I ever want to go back to school, which I'm going to, it's inevitable. I can just take an online class, and then I can work my schedule right around it, which is another benefit. You can do other things and head online for a few hours and pay for that tuition or pay for your rent. So I see my biggest goal is to grow my account, and I want to just be there for a very long time. I like putting in the effort, and I just want to be known. I know that sounds very funny to say, but I
no.
I do so much that I just want to keep building and building and growing and growing.
Well, if you're not growing, you're not showing. And so, no, sorry, I had to. Um, no, but I mean, seriously, I have the same goal as you. I want to put myself out there. And I think a lot of you too want to put yourself out there. You want to grow. You want to get out there. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you're doing it and you're manifesting and you're here. I want to really quick go into, because I have an idea for the last part of this segment. You guys aren't going to want to miss this, but it is that time. It's your favorite time. It is time for the Kinkly word of the day. So excited. Woo! The Kinkly word of the day is mutual masturbation. What is mutual masturbation? Well, glad you asked. It's when two people get off watching the other person get off, and it's good. And not only that, guess what? You don't got to worry about STIs. And it still has that fun, sexy vulnerability that we all love. Thanks, mutual masturbation. And thank you, Kinkly. Back to you. All right. Well, that was fun. So, we're back. All right. I need your help, Em. I thought about this and I wanted to do something with you. I know you mentioned confidence in this segment, and so I am in a relationship, and I got some advice from the last cam model we talked to. It was awesome. And she was telling me about sometimes missing when you're in a domestic partnership is connecting to that sensual being that we are as feminine. And I noticed because I've been on Live Jasmine, I've noticed y'all are really connecting to that. Some are more authentic. Some feels like acting, but I could tell with you, you know how to connect to that sensual being. And I think that helps relationships. So can you give me any pointers? I want to try to connect to her right now. How do I get into that sexy mode?
It's so funny because I get this quite a few people say this, you're very feminine and this and that. I'm just naturally myself. I know it sounds so bad, but it's true. I think there's different things that you do physically to spice up things in the bedroom. Some people like role playing and things like that. I'm yelling right now into the couch, but typically I do speak very soft and a little bit slower, and guys do enjoy that. Maybe my biggest thing online is consistently changing outfits, consistently changing hairstyles, consistently changing makeup for a few reasons. One, some people do have a red lipstick fetish, and I wore red lipstick since I was 16. I wore it every single day. Some people like a natural look. Some people like a little makeup. Some people like some heavy, smoky eye makeup, a red lipstick, different outfits, baby dolls, just a bra, panties, or bra, thong. Some are like dresses or high heels. So curling your hair, straightening it. I would say just to change up your look here and there and just be flirty, because if anything, the way I see it with a sexual relationship, with having a partner, is in bed. The best type of relationship is you might laugh randomly,
Yeah.
and that's that closeness. So even if you say something and maybe it comes out a little bit weird and you're flirting, at least you guys can laugh together, and it shouldn't be embarrassing or anything like that. So with the confidence as well, just go for it. I mean, get to know your partner really well and have these open conversations with them. I say to people online, the members, I say, I believe the worst feeling in the world is to have a partner and to not tell them if you have a certain desire, because you are not allowing yourself to have this pleasure, and you're either keeping it a secret. It's a very vulnerable thing to do. Maybe you feel embarrassed, they won't accept it, but you're depriving yourself of something for the rest of your life, possibly. And we should be living, to we should be alive, we should be living, and we should be having a great time. So to hide that from a partner, you don't get that pleasure. And what would be better than sharing something very intimately with your partner? It's tough to speak about some things, I suppose. Maybe you feel like you'll be judged, but definitely be open with your partner. Tell them what you're into, ask them what they're into, and build different types of intimacy connections in different ways as well. They could be it could be something very subtle. It can be, like I said, asking how your day is. A lot of men, for instance, they don't get many compliments in life, and that's just how it is. Women more so get compliments, maybe even to the point of being used to it. But a lot of men statistically will say they don't get compliments. So when you compliment them, they're almost shocked to a degree. So make sure you compliment your significant other. Go out of your way to ask them how they're doing, ask them how their day was, and make them a good meal. Dress up in a little something spicy. I'm very romantic. I like roses, like rose petals and candles and things of that nature. So I like to be flirty. It comes a little bit natural to the point of where I don't even realize I'm doing it. Sometimes I had friends when I was younger saying, "Oh, like you're flirting with the waiter right now." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm very
My boyfriend says the same thing. He says you flirt with women, men, you flirt with the people on your show, like you flirt with everyone. I'm like, I just am connecting. I don't even think about it. So I relate to you.
I
Yeah.
think it's just this happy nature. When you're truly, truly happy, you see it shining from the inside to the out, and a lot of people are not used to that. I've gotten comments in life where me being kind to somebody, it was a suspicious thing. They said, "I don't trust people that are happy. I don't trust people that are kind." And I said, "What kind of world is this? This is supposed to be normalized, and it's not." So I think the most flirty thing that you can do is smile with your eyes, and then smile in general. People are very attracted to a very nice smile, and they could see it, shining from the inside out. And it's a turn on for a lot of people. If I see someone that looks very kind and friendly, I'm like, wow, I wish I could be. I'm a very happy person, but I'm like, wow, I wish I could be like them. I almost admire them. So
Yeah.
it's an attractive thing. I would definitely say, just working on your happiness and things like that will definitely help have this flirty like nature without you and I both say, without even realizing you're doing it. Just because you're being kind, it's almost unusual. It's an unusual feeling.
Well, that's what, like, it leads to me getting in trouble a lot because they think it means something. I'm like, because they're not used to, especially like, I'll be out in public and there's a guy and I'm like, hey, how are you? Like, it just comes out of me and I mean it. Actually, I'm waiting for a response and automatically they're like, is she hitting on me? Like, they're like, what's going on? I'm like, no, no. But, I get it. It's like, it's that rare. And so, yeah, that's what I'm kind of working on. And I like to be real on here. Like, my confidence in the bedroom is a lot better. So like, but I do struggle with like intimacy in ways of like, because I don't drink. And I know alcohol for me would help me be able to get into that like seductress, like who I really am. I like to put on a performance. Like I like to like give me a good spanking, baby. Like, little cheese. I love it. But to get into that sober, I have found it's been kind of hard. So yesterday I was in the bathroom getting ready and he's laying in bed and he is fine. Like my boyfriend, I've been with him for a while and I'm still turned on. But I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, I turn on some Pussycat Dolls and I'm like, I do you. I do you, girl. And I'm like, I come out, put my makeup, do my hair, because it's about, I need to feel hot for me to tap into that. And so if I'm grunging it out, Alanis Morissette style, I love you, girl. But I don't feel like I could tap into my sexual energy the way I need to. So I came out of the bathroom and I was like, loosen up those buttons, baby, and and he was just like, whoa, it's not that I'm any more beautiful than I am yesterday. But it's that receptivity, you're desired. I want you, and the confidence and all that, you're still the same hot person. He doesn't love you any less anymore just because you're changing your outfits, but you're receptive. You're like, whoo. So it was good.
Definitely. Well, I'm happy for you, of course.
Thanks.
But that's the thing is, I think some men, you can have a conversation with them and maybe just a texting conversation if it's easier, that vulnerability. But a lot of men like to be surprised, and you doing something so simple like a little dance or a little kiss in the neck or something like that. Something so simple. Your partner will really desire you. It might even shock them, as you had said. So guys like to sort of feel that way. They don't want to, not, I'm not speaking for a whole, but they like to be surprised in a sense. They don't want to do, every single aspect of the work. And even telling them, I want to try something different, or I want to try this. Having that open communication is amazing. But then on the other hand, just going for it. Your partner loves you for a reason, and if they're going to judge you or leave you because, I don't know, you dance bad or something like that, it's a little bit. So they're there with you for a reason. Everything you do will be sexy. You brushing your teeth in the morning will be sexy. You leaving the house, having a cup of coffee in your living room, anything of that nature, they'll want to be with you. So you kind of just have to go for it and have that confidence too. Once you do something, a few times, you're so used to doing it at that point that it doesn't even matter. Your partner's not going to scream at you. I think that's the getting out of your comfort zone kind of thing is, I'm being judged. Oh, I'm going to be so embarrassed. I just say 1, 2, go. That's it. Just do it. 1, 2, do it. Don't even think. 1, 2, do it. And you'll get used to the feeling of being vulnerable, which a lot of people do have a problem with. It's a scary thing, but you just go out and do it and get used to doing that, and you'll surprise you with the confidence.
I'm going to do the bend and snap right in front of him when he gets back. I swear to God, but it's going to be hot though. I'm going to be like,
oh, goodness,
what you think, baby? But no, it's really 1, 2, go. Because as soon as you go to 1, 2, 3, 4, you're like, oh my God, you're imagining yourself, you're picking yourself apart. So I love that because they chose us, or the members on your site are like, I clicked on you, I'm connecting to you. And I think we put this high standard on us, and we are our worst critic. You drink a cup of coffee, it's like, he's sitting there like, damn. But we're not receptive a lot of times, partners, whether you're male or female, to the other partner. So it's kind of like they're thinking that, or they stop thinking it because they don't think there's a chance. So, but this is fascinating. You are an onion in the best of ways, just layers and layers of knowledge. And you are a happy person. And that shouldn't be such a shock out there, guys. Like, wow, we have a happy person on our show today with all this crap going on in the world. So I want to thank you for being a light in a world that can feel lost and hopeless. And just thank you for being on the show today.
Oh, thank you so much. I hope that, a few people take this and apply it to different areas in your life as well. Not just the models and the webcam models in this industry, but in different aspects. Use the information towards yourself, that confidence in different areas of life. I couldn't be more thankful to be on here. I'm very happy that I was able to speak my piece.
Well, it was a pleasure. And I myself am going to get to go to some of these conferences. I hope I get to meet you and we can party and have a hot girl summer or whatever time of year it is. So it's just been a pleasure. Thank you for being on. And you guys out there, I'll put Em's information below where you can find her. Please go out and support. No hate. Open your minds a little bit and keep it red. Thank you, Em, and you guys take care out there.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for joining the Life in Red today, where we embrace passion, confidence, and positive sexuality. Keep painting your journey in bold red strokes. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us so that you never miss out on living your best red life. Ready for more? Stay passionate, stay red. See you next episode.